Good afternoon and welcome to Shine with Tish podcast. Today is August the 1st. Wow, time surely flies when you are having fun. I am excited, ignited, and delighted. I have an amazing guest today. She is an author. She has studied psychology for many years. She is just phenomenal and is going to help us with our mindset. Please help me to welcome Miss Angie Dalrymple. Woo! And welcome, Angie. Please
Thank
introduce
you,
yourself.
thank you, thank you, Tish.
Yes.
I believe that you will be shining on me so I can shine too.
Yes.
And thank you for having me. It's my
Of
pleasure.
course, of course. Please, can you introduce yourself to our listening audience?
And that is one of the hardest questions I've ever been asked.
Really?
Yes, however, I'll try because I really do not know where to start. There are
Mhm,
so many things, without being conceited, there are so many things about me that
mhm.
I would want people to know. But,
Yes.
in a context, I have to just have it in a concise way. So I'll
Mhm.
try my best to do what I can. I hail from a Caribbean country, that
Yes.
beautiful basket of flowers, with
Yes.
differences. And that country is Jamaica. We call it
Whoop,
an
whoop.
island, the island of Jamaica, right?
Yes.
Where people are friendly, nice, cool, and good. And
Yes.
I'm from a nuclear family. We of five sisters, nuclear
Nice. Wow.
family. My father died when I was about 10 years old, and I am the second of five.
Got it.
However, I have other siblings,
Mhm.
totaling nine.
Okay. Wow.
Okay.
Wow. That's a big family, Angie.
It is definitely, but I grew up in a small one, as I said, within that little nuclear box.
Mhm,
It
mhm,
was just five of us,
mhm,
me being the second of the five.
mhm.
And we're all alive, thank God. Yes,
Amen.
I am an enthusiastic motivator. I
Uh,
really am passionate about motivating people towards
mhm.
having their optimal self. That's
Yes.
a key of me. And
Yes.
I'm an avid reader. From a child,
Mhm,
I am a reader. I used to
mhm,
teach students at school to read. My teacher
mhm,
would pull me out and say, okay, you're the person to head
mhm.
that group. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I am a proponent of Christian values.
Yes.
Yes, that's my design.
Mhm,
I believe in the design that God has created me in, and I embrace it.
mhm,
I share it with others, not imposing anything on them, but
mhm.
from the values that I get from it, I would help them to understand that if you don't have your own values, that will help you
Yes.
to
Yes.
excel in life and to
Mhm.
have hope and to live in a way that you can champion through this earth, then this is what I have. Would you
Yes.
like to experience it?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm a sharer. I love to share.
Yes.
I am on the professional level. I am an educator. I am
Mhm,
a guidance counselor. I am an
mhm,
associate applied psychologist,
mhm,
and in my later part of life, or you would say the latter part of my life,
mhm, mhm.
I started doing writing.
Yes.
I have been writing for years, but never been published. So I would say
Mhm,
I have published, you know,
mhm.
my first book
Yes.
recently.
Yes.
I am an entrepreneur,
Mhm.
the CEO of Ask Consultancy and Coaching Services. And I will
Nice.
never leave this one out. I'll stop right here after I say this one. I'm a
Mhm.
volunteer. I like to give back service. I
Yes.
have given service in professional areas. I have been president of the Jamaica Association of Guidance Counselors in Jamaica.
Mhm,
Right now,
mhm,
I'm serving as the immediate past president. I served
mhm.
as the president elect, then became the president, and now I am the immediate past president. There are other areas that I have served as leadership in the church, in
Mhm,
the different churches that I have attended, one
mhm,
denomination, different churches, and I have done leadership roles in them. For example, education officer and so forth.
mhm,
I can't go into all of that. So
mhm.
I give back socially, I
Yes.
give back professionally, and
Mhm,
I also give back to persons in need in terms of in their health areas of health. I
mhm,
do give back because of my experiences, and so I will
mhm.
always share with them so that they too can feel that there is hope. I'll
Yes.
stop there.
That's awesome, Angie. Wow. You have a big family, but not only are you focused on family and career, but others. That's where it's at. That ripple effect, because that's how it comes back. The principle of giving, loving, sharing, and helping people. Because I find, I'm not gonna get off the tangent, but in our communities, it's so needed when it comes to what you do. You said you're an applied psychologist by trade. That is amazing. Let's get into these questions, lady.
And before I actually get myself into trouble, I am a mother and I am a wife. I'm a mother of one child.
Nice.
Let me not leave that
Son.
out.
Yes, that's important. And your beloved husband. Yes, I'm so grateful that you all are my friends. And we are here tonight.
That's
Yes,
right.
get this party started. So, our theme for the Shine Institute this year is being an ear to inherit more in 2024. Last night, I went to a training, and one of the slides that was presented said, once you discover you are the problem, you will finally discover you are the solution to your problems. And what an epiphany that was. It wasn't blaming anybody. It was saying you are the problem. The way you're thinking about it, the way you're seeing it. You have authored mind power. Unlock your aspirations and master unbelievable ambitions. What message did you want your readers to take away from reading your book? When I think about the slide that I saw last night, I just it reminded me of pretty much you can solve your problems. You can. If you persevere, if you have a plan, come up with a vision, steps, objectives, it can happen, right? But I want to hear from you because you are the applied psychologist. This is your area of mastery. And I think it will go hand in hand with the subject of your book, with the context of your book. Please, what's the takeaway?
There's so many areas that I could touch on, so many nuggets. But the first one I would want to think about is that persons need to understand that their mind is their powerhouse.
Yes.
That's the most powerful asset that one
Mhm,
has, the
mhm,
most valuable asset that one has.
mhm,
And many times it is so disregarded. I guess
mm,
because it is in a spirit form, because there's nowhere in
mm.
your body that is called the mind. You
Yes.
can't find it to
You
label it
can
like
touch it.
you can't touch it. So
Mhm,
therefore it is so much underestimated, and as
mhm,
such it is not being used
mhm,
accordingly. And as you mentioned about that slide you saw,
mhm,
many times we want to change the world around us. We want
mhm.
the world to change in order for us to feel good or for us our
Yes,
emotions to be positive.
yes,
But that is not so. Our
yes,
answers are deep inside of us. So
yes.
we need to find the key to
Mhm,
pull, to open, and
yes.
take it out. Now, it is the most powerful system that controls our direction and also our destiny. It
Mhm,
is about our inner self.
mhm,
When we become aware of the key of achieving and experiencing a self actualized life,
mhm,
then many of the diseases, many of the emotional strains, the stresses that we go through, and depression, and all those things,
yes,
we
yes,
will not have
yes,
because our mind is the power to our life.
yes,
When we
yes.
master the power of our mind towards transforming our lives
Mhm,
and invigorating our aspiration, then we will find that we'll have optimal fulfillment.
mhm, mhm,
Mindset is the thinking that drives our lives. It is our beliefs, our
mhm.
perceptions, and our worldviews.
Yes,
So
yes,
it's all about who we are.
yes.
And I'll just say that many times we describe ourselves or we validate ourselves based on the body that we have.
Mhm,
That's a
mhm,
physical
mhm,
body,
mhm, mhm, mhm,
and we do not pay much attention to the mind.
mhm.
However, it is the mind that is driving the body,
Yes, yes.
the
Oh,
mind that is driving the emotions. It is the
yes,
engine behind all of this. Because when
yes.
the brain processes what the mind sends in, then the
Mhm.
body picks up the information and act
Correct,
accordingly. So
correct.
key the mind. Be
Yeah,
transformed by the renewing of your mind.
yes. You know what? Especially in 2024, individuals can transform themselves from one gender to a next. Individuals can get implants, they can get fillers, they can do so many things. They can have, put some extra hair in their hair. They can do so many things physically, so many things. People are trying to. I was listening to another podcast, and the young lady was so transparent. She confessed that she got injections in her butt, and then it was not professionally done. It was done on a couch, and it messed up. Then she went to another country and had to get it done over, and she's doing well and doing great now. But the effort to which we go through physically, I don't believe that percentage of energy and effort is given to the mind, Angie.
And that is so true. But what I'd like to share with you, whether or not we embrace the mind, whether or not we validate the mind, whether or not we're aware of it, it is the driver for us. It is driving our lives.
Oh,
And
yes.
hence, if we are not paying attention, it will destroy us because it must be controlled.
Mm-hmm,
Yes, it must be acknowledged because
mm-hmm,
it is primarily what really leads us up or down,
mm-hmm,
our perceptions and all of these things. So, therefore, when we do whatever we do with our body, it is coming from the mind. But what are we feeding the mind on? Because
mm-hmm.
this book that we are talking about will help us to understand mind food. You feed the mind has to be fed. What do you feed it
Yes.
on? Whatever it is fed on,
Yes.
whatever it is fed on, that is what it is going to produce. And this book is
Yes.
going to be helping us to be aware of that, and also with activities that are guiding as to how to actually apply what is being said here.
I love it. I love it. Brain, mind food, mind food. We gotta guard our senses. We gotta guard our senses because I'm gonna read your book and I cannot wait to write a review once I'm finished with it.
Thank you.
Yes,
I
yes,
want the world to have it.
yes, yes, and that's why we are here today. We are here to make sure that they know it's more than the outer. It's more than what we see. It's the intangible. Did you always know you wanted to be in the field of psychology?
That question is so deep. And I use the word deep purposefully
Mhm.
because all my life, from a child, persons have been saying that I'm so deep. I have been refused from groups because I am too deep. Yes, and throughout it, it was so annoying, and I always wonder why is it, and what is the reason for persons would not wanting me around them and so forth. But then I learned that I would always see things in a different way, in a deeper way. I would be seeing things beyond this, what they would have been seeing
Mhm.
and so forth. And many persons, they didn't have the time to go into all of that, to bring out, to flesh out.
Yes.
And I remember when my son was, I think it was about 2 years old,
Mhm.
one day he said to me, I didn't even know that he knew this word. Mommy, are you a psychic? I didn't know that he knew it. But I thought about it and I was wondering what made him say so. And he
Yes.
said to me, Mommy, because whatever you always say happens.
Wow.
And I went through life because I was an accountant, I was a professional secretary, I did other careers, and
Mm-hmm.
this wasn't something that I settled with.
Mm-hmm.
However, as life went on, all the services that I would have given in different
Mhm.
areas,
Mhm.
persons would have identified
Mhm.
this kind of value in me,
Mhm.
this kind of talent, this kind of gift, this type of
Mhm.
potential.
Mhm.
And even before I was trained, persons were sending clients. And I was saying, no, I can't do that. And persons also, educators, said to me, listen, this is who you are.
Mhm. Mhm.
Just give up
Yes.
and give in. Just go and do
Yes.
it. And to be honest with you, I have found that this is where God wanted me to be.
Amen. That's awesome.
Yes, yes, I have
Awesome.
found so. Yes,
Wow. So your journey, it was a journey, but you ultimately arrived at the destination. Not only did you arrive at the destination, but you have produced your first book to help others to memorialize, to have that forever, for beyond your lifetime. That
that's
book
right.
will be there for your sons' children and their children to see all that you have done.
Mm.
Kudos to you.
Thank you so much.
Of course. It is one thing to make a promise, but another to push through it all to achieve it. How was your journey in completing the book?
Intricate. it it was an interesting one looking back, but
Mhm.
I should say to you that this book was already written inside of me.
Deep.
So all I needed was to find the time to pen it.
Got it.
It took me 3 months,
Mhm,
not every day,
mhm,
but a period of time to
mhm,
actually pen it, complete
mhm,
it,
mhm.
and then have it published.
Wow.
However, I started a year before that, but I
Mhm,
had other situations, family matters, challenges that
mhm,
took me away. So I only had an outline, and that was where it was left for
mhm,
approximately a year. And then
mhm.
I started. It was all inside of me. So all I did was to spend some time and just put it right out.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Wow. 3 months, that doesn't sound like much time at all.
No,
That
with a
sounds like,
busy schedule. Because
yeah.
at that time I was operating as a president of the biggest organization that I've ever served, you know, the Jamaica Association of Guidance Counseling and
Mhm,
Education. And
mhm.
being the president, then you know that there were a lot of
Of
responsibilities,
course.
time consuming, and all of that, with other activities in my
Mhm.
professional world that I was doing, and
Yes.
also in my social world. So,
Mhm.
yes, I found the time and it happened.
That's amazing. Amazing. What are healthy recommendations you can share with an individual who's listening so they can fight their limiting beliefs in their mind and start on the path of renewing it?
Mind power
Mhm,
surpasses racial discrimination,
mhm.
religious hindrances, denominational boundaries. It was designed by our Creator for us.
Yes.
Becoming aware of it
Mhm,
and understanding the purpose of it is key to start doing anything else.
mhm, mhm,
Embrace it. It
mhm.
is spiritual, you can't touch it.
That's right.
But learning more about it will
Mhm,
help you to
mhm,
have a better imagery of it
mhm, mhm,
and that you can put it in to action. In
mhm.
other words, you can control it. And the
Yes.
question, do you control your mind or does your mind
Right.
control
That's
you?
right.
We have to answer that
Oh,
question.
Messy.
Right.
That's how. Forgive me. That was good. That was good. Do you control your mind or does your mind control you? Do you control your mind or does your mind control you? What can someone do to control their mind if their mind is controlling them?
Declutter. First thing, clean the space and start over. Decluttering is simple simply understanding that what is there is causing harm. What is there is handcuffing you. What is there have you in shackles. What is there is messing you up.
Hmm.
Clean the space. You know, just like a computer,
Hmm.
when there are too many files, they are
Yeah.
not properly filed, and all of that. It freezes.
Mm-hmm.
It slows it down first, and then it freezes. But don't wait until it freezes.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you start feeling the slowing down, declutter.
Mm-hmm.
Get rid of those things. And again, I said there are activities here to guide persons into
Oh,
how to
nice.
declutter. It's very important to have your space in a positive way,
Mm-hmm.
thinking whatsoever things are good, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever
Mm-hmm.
things are honest, whatsoever things are of good report.
Yes.
These are the things that are virtue, and these
Yes.
are the things that will help you to
Mm-hmm.
have a healthy life.
Wow. Wow. I would never think to declutter the mind, just rest, relaxation. But I cannot wait to get into the book to learn of what are some of the exercises and things an individual can do to start to know what the mind is. Like we said, we can't touch it, but how to sweep the floor, how to fold the clothes, how to hang the clothes, and create that space so that they can start creating a blueprint and a map for ultimately where they want to go, how they want to build the next chapter.
Mhm.
That's
That's
really,
right.
really good.
That's right. Decluttering and starting over with a new perception, because that's
Mhm.
another key that messes up our minds. As you mentioned about mindset, it's about
Mhm.
our perception. What we
Mhm.
perceive, what we believe, what we embrace, it
Mhm.
becomes really what drives us. And if what drives us is destructive, then we need to find a new perspective of
Yeah,
life.
yeah. You know, a lie is not a good thing. And I find in my experience that when someone believes a lie, that is where the breakdown comes with the perception. I could say the sky is gray, it's rainy out there, it's not blue,
Mhm.
and then someone can give me all the reasons why the sky is green. And they are sold out. They believe wholeheartedly that the sky is green. And there's nothing I can say or do or to prove that it's raining. It's the storm out there, but it's gray, not green. Any thoughts on that?
Yes, Tish. We only believe lies when we don't know the truth.
Mm, mm, mm.
And there is a book that I like to read, the manual. We call it the Bible. It
Mm-hmm,
indicates that if you believe lies, you become a liar as well.
mm-hmm.
So gravitate towards knowing the truth,
Yes, yes,
and the
yes,
truth will set you free.
yes,
It's
yes.
liberation when you know the truth, because we have counterfeit things of everything.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes,
We have the counterfeit of everything.
yes.
So if you do not know the true item, whether
Mm-hmm.
it's a
Dollar bill.
money note, dollar bill,
Mm-hmm,
whatever, if
mm-hmm.
you do not know the true one, you will be deceived, because this
Yes,
is a world that
yes,
deception is a key factor
yes,
to bring us into demise.
yes.
And we have to be careful. Hence, we have to pay attention to mind power, because whether or not our thoughts or perceptions are positive, the mind is still powered. It's
Mm-hmm.
like the internet, it operates even when we are sleeping.
Yes,
You
yes,
can't see it again, I said. And this
yes.
is why I really believe that many persons are losing touch with themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Depression didn't have to come,
That's right.
because it started somewhere.
That's right. With a
And even if
thought.
you don't have the power to do it yourself, there are
Mm-hmm.
persons who are trained that can
To
guide
help.
you into doing
Yes,
it.
yes. My mom is in the medical field, and she would always continue to affirm me. She's like, Tish, keep it positive. Keep it positive. I love that you like to keep it positive. She said, because the mind is powerful.
Mhm.
What you think about, you bring about. And she was explaining to me a patient who wanted to have a baby so bad. She wanted a baby. 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 Angie, she wanted a baby. And her stomach started to grow because of how she regurgitated on that baby. And she believed she was having a baby, but it was actually a tumor growing. And
Napoleon says, whatever you believe, you will achieve. And it is real.
mhm,
And what happens is the mind told the brain
mhm,
about the baby,
mhm,
and the brain process the information and send that information to the rest of the body.
yes.
Because there is no true baby, true
Mhm,
conception,
mhm.
something has to be that
There.
baby,
Wow.
if we just understand the
The
power
power
of the
of
mind.
brain. Ah, yes. Yes, Angie. I said, wow, mommy. Wow. That was powerful
Hmm.
how she brought it forth because that's just what was on her mind night and day.
Hmm.
What would be one misconception about mindset you would like to set the record straight on? Maybe a cliche or something that people say.
Oh, the mindset. Oh, mindset.
Mm-hmm,
It will not go away. It is there to stay.
mm-hmm.
What you feed it with, that what nourishes it.
Mm. Oh my. I was thinking of, oh, I'm just gonna, Holy Spirit led me, so here we go. I was thinking of a friend
Hmm.
who, you have these different groups, whether it's alcohol, anonymous, or different groups or what have you, celebrate recovery or what have you. And lust is real.
Hmm.
Lust is real.
Hmm.
And I remember an elder saying, you have to bounce your eyes. You have to see, but still not see, so that you can keep your mind, right?
Hmm.
But if you take a second look, that second look can cost you your life. That second look, David took a second look, Angie, and then it just spirals. So individuals struggling with pornography, individuals struggling with lust, struggling with keeping themselves pure, you know, if you feed it something, it's just gonna grow like a baby. You start with milk, then you give it some mashed potatoes, then you give it a little bit of broccoli, and then they're eating some tofu, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Or-
Hmm.
and then they become big. So I like that brain power, but you were gonna say something.
No, I smiled when you spoke about the struggles.
Yes.
Of course, they are real.
Mm-hmm.
Mind power comes
Mm-hmm.
to help you to better understand what you have within you
Mm-hmm.
that can help you. So instead of struggling with what you have
Fight
that is
back.
destroying you,
Yes.
yes, you will stand and say, I am in charge.
Yes. Yes.
Now, the point here is we can't have, there is a saying, we can't have our cake when we have already ate it. So if you like the pleasure, let's say
Mm-hmm.
pornography,
Mm-hmm.
if you like the pleasure from it,
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to fight against it.
Mm-hmm.
You have to come to the consciousness and tell your mind
This
that,
is
yes,
destroying me.
that's right. I like it. It is destroying me. Which do I prefer?
Mm-hmm. It's
You
bond
have
is
to make a
binding
choice.
me.
Mhm. You have to
Right?
make a choice. And you have
Mm-hmm.
that power invested in you by your creator to do
Yes.
that. Make that
Yes.
choice.
Yes. Choose wise.
Choose
Choose
wisely.
wisely. Yes. Ooh, my hat keeps on.
It's so beautiful. Maybe it wants to come to me.
Who knows? Maybe I'm gonna gift you. When is your birthday?
That's way in December.
Okay, good time.
Good.
So, have you ever struggled with your mindset?
Oh, sure. I'm just another human being. And that's why I'm
Yes,
here to help persons because
yes.
it's not easy to get out of it, especially if you are not fully aware of how your mind is influencing
Hmm.
what you're having in the case of a negative perspective,
Yes,
in the
yes.
case when it's destroying you. Because if it's good, that's fine. But I must say that if it's not being controlled, it's usually not good. It usually takes a negative path,
Yes,
right? It's
yes,
like a
yes.
child. If you don't train that child
Hmm.
will just do anything and
Yes,
destroy self.
yes.
So, yes, I have had struggles. I remember when my dad died,
Oh no.
as a child at 10 years old
Hmm.
that last with me up until adulthood, and
Wow.
I decided that there is no really good meaning to life. The very person that was my best, and I just could not think that I could survive without my father.
Wow.
So even though I was going to school,
Hmm.
and that bothered me in school because I was grieving deeply,
Hmm.
I wasn't even able to write a good comprehension. That's what we
Hmm.
called it at that
Yes,
time.
yes.
And look, now I'm writing. Yes.
Yes.
And it's all because I came to the consciousness because I
Yes.
didn't get any help.
Hmm.
I
You
didn't,
woke up.
yes, yes. And it was a spiritual awakening. It was God who
Yes.
helped me to understand this. And that was when I really got out of the distress that I was in. That was when my life started shining. I
Yes.
didn't smile for a long while in my
Yes.
life. My
Yes.
jaws became so
Locked.
locked. And I could tell you a story. But the point here is mindset is
Hmm.
something that can defeat you,
Hmm. You
bring
can
you to
control.
naught,
Hmm. Hmm.
send you into total mental downturn.
Lunacy, lunacy.
Yes, it can damage you. You can trip.
Yes,
You can get
yes.
to a point where you trip. Another thing is I learned that anything that is negative, you feel it in your body.
Oh, that causes dis-ease, which causes disease. I learned that.
That's right. That's right. And when you start feeling negative emotions, it tells you
Hmm.
that something is wrong.
It's
It's not
wrong.
something to keep.
Oh,
It's
yes,
not
yes.
something, whatever is triggering it, whatever
Hmm.
your thoughts are, it
Yeah.
is damaging to you. So
Yes.
even though there was a just cause for me to be grieving, it was
Hmm.
damaging me.
Yeah.
And there's a better way to grieve, which I
Yeah.
can share with anybody if you want to acquire my service.
Yes.
There is a better way to grieve,
Hmm.
to value the person or whoever or whatever you have lost,
Yes.
whatever that would have influenced the grief or caused the grief,
Yes.
and be well.
Yes.
But the
Yes.
negative mindset
Hmm.
has to be changed,
Yes.
and a positive mindset has to replace the
Yes.
negative mindset. If you just say you change the negative mindset and it is not replaced with an
Hmm.
active, positive
Regular.
mindset,
Yes.
then you have still lost the battle.
Yes. 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 I believe that. I believe that wholeheartedly because you've seen individuals that may have had it all and you're like, why did they take their life?
Mhm,
They had
mhm,
it all.
mhm,
And
mhm,
that's where it goes back to the mind,
mhm,
which is unseen,
mhm,
untouchable.
mhm,
Something wasn't quite right,
mhm. That's right.
you know? And so we got to get the book so we can learn the exercises. What accomplishment are you most proud of, Angie?
And
You have done it
I'm
all.
glad you
You've done
asked
it
that question.
all.
I'm glad you asked that question because I remember on many occasions
Mhm.
saying to, I'm an educator as well.
Mm-hmm.
So in that field that I worked, saying to my principal, you know something, I'm feeling so fulfilled.
Awesome.
And that happens when I recognize, I
Mm-hmm.
am told, persons come back to say
Yes.
thank you, not
Yes.
about the thank you, but how they have been helped.
Yes.
I have had persons, adults and children,
Mm-hmm.
who have gone through crippling experiences, so much so that I have some whose body
Mm-hmm.
became crippled, the
Mm-hmm.
psychosomatic illness. And through this gift that God has given me, and
Mm-hmm.
through his inspiration,
Mm-hmm.
through his guidance, I would have
Mm-hmm.
worked with those persons
Mm-hmm.
and they have regained themselves.
That's
They
amazing.
can walk again. And it's
Congratulations.
all about the
The
mind.
mind. Yep. Yep. And yes.
I remember there was a situation where there was a mother
Mm-hmm.
and she couldn't understand how is it that her child is now in wheelchair.
Mm-hmm.
The child just deteriorated and got into wheelchair.
Wow.
And all the medical, as a matter of fact, there came a time when the medical professional recommended counseling.
Mm-hmm.
And the mother came to me
Mm-hmm.
because she heard about my services
Mm-hmm.
and she came to me. When she came to me, I mean, she could not really think what was going to happen
Wow.
because there is no way that she could see a physical illness
Yes.
like that
Mm-hmm.
associating with just how person's thinking.
Yes. Yes.
And about within 2 hours,
2 hours.
about 2 hours, when the wheelchair was wheeled into me,
Mm-hmm.
the person could not even sit upright in the wheelchair. The
Wow.
person had to be supported to
Mm-hmm.
sit.
Wow.
And I told the mother, I said, do not leave the room
Mm-hmm.
because you need to be here because
Mm-hmm.
this is a crisis. But
Mm-hmm.
because the medical persons had already referred, I felt safe to
Yes.
deal with it outside of
Yes.
the medical.
Yes.
And the mother was there. She cried her heart out.
Wow.
She poured out every tear she had in her eyes
Mm-hmm.
when she saw her child walked out of my
Amen.
office
The same day
the
or after
same
sessions?
day within 2 hours.
Angie, girl.
I am not a magician,
No,
but
you
I
speak
believe in
it.
God and I
Yes.
believe in the power of the
Mm.
mind.
Oh, yes.
I believe that this is what God has invested in us. When He
Yes.
says that He created us in His own image, I
Image,
believe that
yes.
this is a resemblance that He
Yes.
has given us,
Yes. And you speak that truth.
His spirit.
Yes. Pastor John K. Jenkins, he says, you know, there's a when you go to the Greek of certain words in terms of the renewing of the mind, the enemy with the lies is like partitions, like building a castle.
Mhm,
But when you continue to give the truth, it's chipping away
mhm,
at it
mhm, mhm.
till the truth is standing strong.
That's right.
And
You're
yes,
transformed by the renewing of your mind.
yes,
Any kind of transformation,
yes,
mentally, physically, otherwise.
yes, yes. Wow, Angie, that's an amazing story. I hope that is somewhere in your book.
No, it's not in this book, but it will come because those persons will be also writing.
Nice.
And it's not just one or two. I have a few
I love
that I
it.
praise God for. So you ask me what I'm most proud of.
Yes.
I am so elated that
Yes.
God has helped them to understand that they have this powerhouse invested in them and
Yes.
neglect of it causes destruction.
Yes, yes, yes. This is beautiful. Amazing transformation in 2 hours.
Two
Can you
hours.
please share with our audience how can they get this book? Please break it down. I have it below in the link, but I'd love for you to share as
How can they
well.
get this book? This book is on Amazon at this time,
Mm-hmm.
and it also has a link which you will share with them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They could also scan the QR code
Mm-hmm.
that will help them to get to the Amazon site.
Yes.
This book, you want to know more about it, you can check Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, Facebook, on the Ask to Aspire. It's right
Mm-hmm.
there. I'm also on LinkedIn. You can
Mm-hmm.
reach out to me if you will, and so forth.
Yes.
But I'd like to just share with my audience
Mm-hmm.
one little aspect of my book right here.
Yes, let's hear it.
Okay, so it speaks about the authentic, intangible power, and that's
Mm-hmm.
your mind.
Yes.
Your mind is the most powerful system that controls the direction to your destiny. It is your inner self, your Ruah,
Yes.
which is your spirit. Your
Mm-hmm.
mind is intangible, it cannot be touched. You can confirm that there's nothing touchable in or on your body that can be labeled to be your mind.
Yes.
Your mind is invisible. It cannot be seen. Perhaps this is a reason for it being unconsciously undermined by many of its owners instead
Mm-hmm.
of being deliberately embraced, engaged, and mastered towards achieving aspirations.
Mm-hmm.
Though invisible, it operates as a powerful secret agent in the intrapersonal
Woo!
relationship of all humans. Your
Yes.
mind is mysterious. It
Mm-hmm.
is not easily understood and difficult to explain. Could
Mm-hmm.
it be the reason for the apparent neglect or an underestimation of its power? Could its mysterious nature contribute to the scant regard of its influence on your thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors?
Mm-hmm.
Undoubtedly, wrapped in its mystery is a reality that it's a reality, sorry, that its influence is tantamount to whether you bloom, droop, wilt, or thrive in dealing with life challenges.
Yes. Wow. I loved how you put that last sentence together. That was explosive in your mouth. Can you read that again? Whether you
Okay, I can read it again for
Yeah,
you.
that last sentence
The
was
last
really,
part
really
here.
good.
Okay, so it says your mind is mysterious, it is
Yeah.
not easily understood, and difficult to explain.
Mm-hmm.
Could it be the reason for the apparent neglect or an underestimation of its power?
Mm-hmm.
Could its mysterious nature contribute to the scant regard of its
Scant
influence
regard.
on your
Yes.
thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors?
Mm-hmm.
Undoubtedly. Wrapped in its mystery is a reality that its influence is tantamount to whether you
Tantamount.
bloom,
Woo.
droop, wilt, or thrive in dealing with life's challenges.
I love it. How can our audience stay in touch with you? LinkedIn, Instagram,
YouTube,
Facebook, YouTube,
email ask to
email.
aspire at gmail.com.
Nice. And
And
on
I'm
all of the social platforms, is it Acts to Expire?
asked to aspire. You
Awesome.
could also on Facebook, you could put in my name, Angelica Dalrymple. You could do that,
Mm-hmm.
and you will have something as well. I'm also a blogger, so ask to
Mm-hmm.
aspire dot
Yeah.
blogspot.com.
Love it. Love
So you
it.
can find me anywhere. Make your comments. I will be tracking all these platforms,
Yeah.
and you can reach out. For those persons, if you're in the Caribbean or wherever and you
Mm-hmm.
use WhatsApp, you can
Mm-hmm.
WhatsApp 1-876-381-6280.
Love it. Angie, you have heard it here on Shine with Tish. Angie has a gift. God has blessed her with a gift that she has written this magnificent book, Mind Power. What do you feed it, people? What are you feeding your mind? In her book, she has exercises for you to declutter, for you to change that perspective, for you to know that this Ruha, this spirit that's untouchable, unseen, can take you from being a wilted flower on your couch potato to running that dash. You can thrive, you can be what you want to be, but it all starts right here. Thank you so much for joining us. Please check down in the description. You see the link where you can just click You will get to Amazon and you can purchase, it's only $20. You can purchase that book and start your transformation process today.
It's
People,
also on ebook.
and it's also an ebook as well. So you don't have to necessarily have the paperback if you want to save a tree. You can definitely just have it on your device. You've heard it here, Miss Angelica, aka Angie Dalrymple, and you have all the access to her. Please support her. Your life will never be the same. Until next time, keep shining.
Thank you,
Toodles.
Tish.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you. Bye.
Bye bye.